Always say to you, contractors are the hardest part of this.
Where real estate investors turn for the latest news, tips, and tricks from the real in the trenches pros. Tune in to hear Chris Goff, the nation's premier real estate investing powerhouse. No fluff, no filler, no holds barred. All you need to know from start to paycheck.
There'll be the contractor that goes, oh, we get all this done, but they're twice the cost, right? Which is fine. And they'll probably do great work. And then you have the contractor that's just trying to outbid everybody. And then you have the guy that's really desperate, that really needs the money, that comes in even lower, but then he can't afford to have help. So the timeline now gets extended because of that. So if anything happens to that one contractor, that's going to delay everything because you've got things lined up and scheduled. I need to get flooring in, the countertops are going in, the kitchen's going in, got to get the lighting, the permits, everything that's going on in this rehab, you've got it lined up. So if you go with that one contractor that gives you the lowest amount and they're sick for one day, guess what? That totally messes up the whole timeline of everything else that needs to get done. And then what do you do as the investor? You start to worry about it. Oh my gosh, then you get frustrated. And then, hey, why aren't you here? We got to get this done. And people see that are working around you, the other contractors, like, hey, what are we waiting on? And next thing you know, it affects everybody. It's not a well-oiled machine because of one person. Now, is it cheaper? Yes, it's cheaper from a money point of view, but in the long-term scheme of things, did it end up costing you more money because of the delays? Or, hey, he just couldn't get it done on time, or maybe you end up firing them through the process. Now you got to find somebody else to come in and and what do you do when you take another contractor to look at another contractor? Oh, he did this wrong. He did this wrong. We got to fix this. We got to fix that. Next thing you know, you end up spending more money. So what I like to do from a contractor point of view, because contractors, the hardest part of rehabbing, is to find that middle ground. Number one, you need somebody that takes pride, right? Obviously, they need to be licensed and be able to pull permits as needed. That should be a basic fundamental. But you're looking for the person that you meet there. What kind of attitude do they have? Do they have a team of people? How many people would be working on this job? How long do you think it could get done? Does this include all the material? Or do I need to buy the material? And when you can calculate that and say, although it's a little more expensive, you feel maybe more confident that they're actually going to get the job done within this period of time that you've set the expectation for. And when you can do that for every contractor, which is almost impossible now because somebody always screws it up. But if you could do that, guess what? You're going to get things done in a timely fashion. You know where the budgets are. They're not going to fluctuate. You feel a lot more solid about the numbers and you feel better. And now you walk away from a product. So we rehab the house. You walk away and said, that's a damn good house. Someone's going to love that house. And not feel like this house that sold down the street with all the shady work because they went cheap and didn't care. And it's so sad because you know what? Most buyers wouldn't even notice the difference. You have to be, I think, that investor that does care. But remember, we're not putting gold plates in a $280,000 house. If it were $1 million house, we'd be putting different kinds of flooring, finishes, and really maximizing what we need there. But that's not this house. But we don't want to treat it as a $50,000 mobile home at the same time, like I feel that these other people did. It is a combination. I feel rehabbing, especially with contractors, it's finding that happy balance. We obviously have budgets to meet. Budgets and rehabbing is never perfect. Most of the time you go over a little bit. And that's why I like to add that buffer in a little bit. And then there's the unexpected. Whoops, didn't see that, right? Oh, now we got to get that fixed. Taking all this into consideration, you know you're going to do it right. And you're going to walk away, not only very profitable, but you're going to walk away. That was a damn good house. That is a feeling that will make you want to do it again. The investors that cover stuff up. That was your first contractor, cover it up. You hear those types of investors out there. Why can't you just do it right? You don't have to spend a lot of money. Outside of labor, what's the biggest expense? material. If I know that I can get good material, solid, maybe not A plus kind of material, but good material, guess what? That's good. You can't go super low material in the main areas. Like the example, door hinges. You don't need expensive, heavy duty door hinges. Those are irrelevant. They just need to be black. You find the cheapest ones on Amazon, they're good enough in the last 10, 15 years. We can't get caught up into, well, this one's better quality all the time. Well, no, this one's still good, unless you're in a more expensive home. But generally, when you're in a more expensive home, you have a heavier door or you have a taller door. So you do have to go a little bit nicer, heavier duty, which ultimately costs a little bit more. This is a home you will definitely walk away with. Was everything done? No, we're not going to do landscaping. We'll put some basic stuff out there, some mulch and maybe a couple flowers, put a pot with a flower or something at the front door. Do you know the two colors to the human eye that we see the best, that grab our attention? Reds and yellows. That's why a lot of people will put a red flower in a pot by a front door, because you're driving by, that red catches your eye and you're like, what is that? Think of that when we start to, how do we grab attention? When people drive by, they're going to catch that red or yellow much faster. That's why a stoplight is red and yellow. It's because it's the two colors that grab our attention the fastest. You don't need that in the house. Let them decorate it with pictures that have the colors and whatever theme they want to go with. What we're doing is providing a blank slate with all the modern touches and finishes that everybody would want when they're buying a home. But allow them to create what that space is going to look like. Some people are going to put a bunch of area rugs in that house. Some people are going to go with a beachy theme. Some people are going to go with maybe a more modern theme. But that's what they get to decide. We just gave them a great blank slate.